Hey, what is up, everyone? Thank you for tuning in. What's up, Ryan? How you doing?
Hey, what's up, Max?
Let's go. What's up, everyone? Welcome to Club Collab on a Tuesday, where we will talk about how to collaborate with each other, how we work with other people, and most of all, is tell you new things that are going on. Today, we got something really excited that, at least I think is excited anyways. We're going to talk a little bit about we're going to talk to you a little bit about a document that we use. I'm going to show you. We're going to talk about why we use it and how to use it, how to pitch it. So something that we use in our business, which is the option agreement. If you are tuning in through YouTube, let us know that we're coming through loud and clear. Let us know that we are live. You can see us also on Facebook. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for joining us today. We have a cool show today for you guys. Ryan, what's going on, bro? Talk to us.
Hey, what's going on, Max? Sorry, here, I'm trying to connect my speakers here.
It's all good, bro.
I don't got the professional studio yet. That's coming.
Not yet. It's coming though. It's coming. So, yeah, go ahead. Sorry, you were on mute.
Did you mute me already, bro? I just got started.
For those of you guys that are just hopping on, thank you for joining us, Club Collab, on a Tuesday, where we talk about collaboration. We talk about the deals that we're working all across the country, nationwide. We have multiple deals that we're working right now with different people. We're going to break down. We're going to talk a little bit about that. And so, Bino, what up, man? Bino says he's mad at the banana.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, he put the banana emojis with an angry face after it. I'm gonna talk about our I want to talk about what's going on with those deals that we're having, how you can, if you are, how the process works. We're going to talk a little bit about that, but what we're going to talk about today is an actual document that has been around for a long time, I would say, right? I think long time ago. Actually, I'm going to talk about a video that I saw of somebody that you might know. He was actually a previous president and has used that document as well. So you want to stay tuned to the end. If you're just tuning in, we're going to talk about that. I'm actually not just going to talk about it. I'm going to show you the document, and that way you can see it, how like I said, even a previous president that invested in real estate used it. And I'm going to tell you the story behind that. But thank you guys for joining us. For you guys that are on YouTube, if you guys are hearing us, if you're seeing us, drop some thumbs up, some fire emojis. Let us know. Drop your questions in the comment section as well. We'll be here, for a little bit. Once again, what I want to do right now is let me, if you guys haven't visited our website, this is our website for you to collaborate with us. Basically, you guys know our motto, right? Our focus statement is always solve more seller problems, right? You go into our office. I mean, if you go into our office, this is we have a big, what would you call that, Ryan? A board, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a big board that says solve more seller problems, which is our focus statement. Obviously, we have our mission statement as well, core values and all that. And you'll see that too on our website, right? We're big on that. So you can see our purpose, which is our mission statement, and our core values, right? Something that we always take pride on showing off, because I think it's very important. But if you haven't been to our website, this is our website. The link's actually going to be, once we're done here today, the link is going to be for our website on here. You can go in here, check out Frank's testimonial. Frank's testimonial is actually really cool, man. I think it's going to impact people, and I like what Frank had to say for the most part. I don't think I can play it for you guys because I don't think I get sound coming through here. Can you hear that, Ryan, or no?
No, nothing. That's not coming through.
Yeah. All right, so you guys have to go check that out. Like I said, I'm going to drop the link so you guys can hear Frank's story. And we're actually going to do some big things with Frank just because he loved working with us so much. And then obviously we talked about Jacob, and we got multiple other ones coming in here as well. But if you haven't visited our website, there's a lot of information on there, how we work. Obviously, last week we talked about that. I don't want to dive too deep into that, but you could see, right, the the difference. We tell you, not we tell you, and we show you what the difference is when you collaborate with us and when you work with us, right? I mean, I think that's a Ryan. You want to talk a little bit about what's the feedback on that?
Yeah, and the feedback's been amazing. Love hearing it, but honestly, everyone's surprised. They're pleasantly surprised because I actually heard it today, Max. That's what I just to kind of chime in or cut into this real quick. I
Mm-hmm.
ran into Max's office today with him and Lena, and I had a seller talking on the phone, on mute. I had him muted, but I was trying to have Max hear his feedback because he was telling me how excited he was,
Mm-hmm.
how much we were helping him, because I was walking him through my conversation with one of the buyers and how we set that up, Max. And you may recall the buyer sent in a proposition of, hey,
Yeah.
here's my proposition for buying the property. And, we obviously counter that. So anyways, long story short, told him, hey, this is what you do. This is why you do it. And then these are some other options you may run into as well down the road. He was super impressed. He was just like, wow,
Yeah.
Brian, love what you guys are sharing with us. Love that Max is so open. I talked to 2 other companies before I talked to you that said they would do what you guys do, but did nothing like it. So that was
Hold on. That's dude. That is awesome. I didn't know that feedback. Wow. So he already. So then he reached out. So there was another company in his market, and they were saying, send us your deals, work with us, collaborate with us. So he reached out to them, and what happened? What? How did that go?
it said it didn't go well at all. It was super negative. It was a lot different, And he said,
Mm-hmm.
you guys are, basically, I'm summarizing this because he may even be on our call right now.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Right.
maybe messing up the word, but basically just like you guys are
I
very
think
open.
it's D. I think D is on here.
Is it?
I think I want to say it is D. I want to say it
Yes,
is D. Yeah, yeah. Yep.
DeAndre, if you're on, man, shout out, brother. Thank you.
No, I appreciate the feedback. That means a lot. And that's what we pride on, right? Which is what we're talking about right now. That's what we're priding on, right? Is that right there. Our service, right? Mon, man, I appreciate you, man. Mon, what's going on? Thank you for being on here. I appreciate it. Mon has dropped the link to our website on Facebook. I know we haven't dropped it yet for YouTube, but Mon, if you guys are watching on Facebook, Mon just dropped the link for the website on our comment section. So check that out when you get a chance. Not yet because we got a show going on, but save that link and make sure that you jump on that when you can. But I love that, man. I love hearing that because one of the things that we always talk about. We did a podcast today, right, with Michael and what is it Michael and Marcus. Yeah, Michael and I was gonna say Malcolm, Michael and Marcus. And one of the things that we talked about is what in this competitive market, if you want to call it that, what how do you guys separate yourself, right? And one of the things that I said while we were talking about that is finding out what your competitive advantage is, right? And so honestly, I think that's what our competitive advantage is basically what we're talking about here, right? Is the is this right here. Especially the transparency, the openness, the willingness to work with someone because I think we all understand how hard it is. This business is simple, but it's not easy. You can attest to that, right, Ryan?
Yes, absolutely. Several times over.
Yeah. So it's good to hear that because I think it's important. But I want to get to what we want to talk about tonight, which is I want to show you guys the when you guys get a chance, click on the link, check out the testimonials, check out, look around. And like I always said, anytime you want to reach out to us, we have the contact information. Again, that's Ryan's cell phone number. That's actually his real number. It's not a call real number. I want to say that all the time.
You love
And
saying that, Max.
and if you are working a lead, remember, we're not just wanting you to send us we're not just wanting you to send us contracts. Sorry, a deal that you have under contract. We want to work with you, and we want to see, if you want us to check out to see if you got a deal. There isn't actually when you go to the website and you're just ready, like say Max and Max and Ryan. I've heard you guys. I get it. I want to work with you guys. There's a little box here. You can find it at the top where it says we got to get rid of that. Right here where it says let's partner up, and you click on it and it actually will take you to this form right here. So it's really simple. Again, you don't have to have these deals under contract. We want to walk you through the whole process and fill out as much as information as you get. If you don't have the information, Like for example, right here where we're asking for the asking price, just put NA just to fill something, or else it's not going to let the form go through. But for the most part, we want you to have the basics, and then we'll tell you. We'll look at the deal. Ryan, you want to tell them how that process looks like after they fill this form out?
Yes, guys. So as you guys know, Bino signed on earlier. I think he's still on here. So he's our partner. He's
Mm-hmm.
in with me. He's the man right away that's jumping on these, looking at them, and then we're going to evaluate the property. If it's within a certain realm, that we think that we can work it, we're going to reach out directly to you. Usually that's me. I'm going to be calling you and just talking to you and really just helping you understand the program. Like, again, walking you through the process, painting the picture so you understand exactly what to expect every step of the way, because we want you to feel comfortable. Obviously, you feel comfortable with our process. You like what myself and Bino have to say. Then we start the next step, which is getting our JV option agreement signed. So again, that's what Max is going to talk a lot about on this here, but just short term, just gives us permission to be able to market it to our buyers, so they can take action. So, we get that taken care of. And I know Max will go into detail a little bit later. From there, we have our process and how we reach out to our buyers. And nationwide, we have our 2.5 million vetted buyers. So just depending on where you're at, we reach out to those buyers in that area and start talking to them and saying, hey, listen, we got a deal. Here's what it is. Here's what we're looking for. Let us know what let us know what you think. And really, we just start filtering through the buyers, making sure they're serious, making sure they're committed, and making sure they're vetted. Experienced, and then from there we're looking for the highest and best. Don't really get into the bidding wars, don't really go into the details here, but basically looking for the highest and best offer. Once we get that offer, we go back to you and say, hey, this is what's going on. Here's who I talked to. Here's what they said. Here's what I think we should do, but I want to get your input. We always, again, keep it open because we want to make sure that you're included. From there, we all have a game plan as far as what we're going to accept moving forward. Accept the deal, and then from there I hand it off to Brittany. Brittany's our transaction coordinator. She's amazing. She's very customer service oriented, so she's going to make sure the seller, the buyer, everyone in the middle, everyone is on the up and up. Everything is moving according to plan. Everything is going to close on time. Time is money in this business, as all of you know. So you really have all of us almost working for you, right? If you want to think of it that way, we're working for you. You're an extension of us outside the office. And we're just working together to help solve seller problems and also get paid while we're doing it, which is an awesome thing to do.
Boom. Thank you, bro, for breaking that down. I think it's we should probably highlight that. I'm glad that you went through that whole process, but here's the cool thing is that this is not just happening in the background. Like, you're literally part of that too as well. Like, we're not just, we're telling you, we're talking to you, we're telling you how the process is going. You're also potentially could be talking to our lead manager, Carlos. You could be talking to our transaction coordinator, Brittany. You could be talking, you are going to be talking to Ryan, obviously. If it's a lead, you're going to be talking to Jesse or myself, one of us. So that's the great thing about it. But yeah, definitely the forums in the comment section as well. Thank you, Mon, for putting that in there. So like I said, if you are ready to go and you're just ready to work with us and you want to, fill that form out, you're more than welcome to. It's real simple, and like Ryan just explained, there's no really there's not a lot behind it. So let's go ahead. I'm going to pull up the information here. And let's see. So I want to talk to you guys about one of our documents that we use, which is called an option agreement. And I'm going to bring that up to the screen really quick. Let's see. So one of the things that I always say, make sure that when you guys are looking at documents, which is whether it's legal, any type of contract, one of the things that you want to do is you want to make sure that you check with your state to see if it works, because the last thing you want is you want to make sure that you're using a document that that's actually legal in your state. So just want to make that disclaimer. I don't want you guys coming back and saying, hey, Max, that document that you and Ryan talked about doesn't work in my state. They said that if I use that, I can get in trouble. So make sure you check with your state. That's definitely what I want to clarify. For the most part, I haven't heard anything negative about this, but um, so what is an option agreement, right? Now, you guys know that there's many ways that you can structure a deal, right? It could be creative, it could whatever the case, wholesale, creative. There's novations now, listings. But what happens when the seller is not open to any of that, right? You pitch, you want to get always for us, cash is the first option, right? In regards to when we want to contract a property. Um, Second option would be to do some type of creative, which is either sub two or basically what is it called, seller carry, things like that. And then obviously, novations are there when you're close to retail, properties in good condition and maybe need some lipstick, but and then the last option would be a listing. But a lot of times, they don't want to do any of that, right? We run into that quite a bit, right, Ryan? When they're sellers, when we pitch them, and what happens is that, now, what I want to do back up a little bit here, just to clarify a little bit when this option comes into play, because you can't use an option agreement when you're talking about somebody that wants retail. That's definitely not what this is for. You definitely that's not what this is for. What an option agreement, where an option agreement comes into play is like, let's say I'm buying the house from Ryan, and Ryan wants, I want to buy that house at 300,000. That's my MAO, but Ryan wants 330, right? And we can't meet that gap, but we know that the property could be worth basically, I don't know, whatever. Let's say we're at 70% of ARV with 300, but they want 330, which pushes us right too far. Now, in this market, you might say, well, Max, I think that, maybe in this market, you can sell it to a hedge fund or whatever. You're right. You're absolutely right. We're not disputing any of that. But here's what you want to do is we typically use this because we don't like to contract properties just to contract them so we can say that we got the contract, right? It's not our business model. I mean, Ryan, you've been with us for a while. Is that something that we do internally?
Not at all. And you always stop or correct people when they use those, right? Other companies or, anybody from the outside, when they say they use a metric or they ask you about that metric in one of your training classes, you always, stop and correct them. And in the beginning, I didn't really know what that meant. But as we started going, I understood really then what it was. Again, we don't make offers to make offers. For making an offer, we're going to buy the
Yeah.
house.
Yeah. Miguel, thank you, bro. I appreciate it. Thank you for joining and watching, brother. Thank you, bro. Um, so what happens is that instead of us contracting it and getting the seller excited, making the seller feel like we're actually going to be the buyers for this, well, we always tell them, if we know that we need to be at 300,000, that's like our max allowable offer, right? Like, I get it, sometimes you can go a little higher, sometimes you can, push it, get it under contract, but if you absolutely can't go past 300,000, then what we can, and this is, I would say, I mean, what would you say, Ryan? Like, maybe 30 grand is probably the highest you want to go on an option, on top of
Yeah,
what your absolutely highest and best is from what we've seen.
it's a really good point. Yeah, you're close. You're so close, but you just can't close that gap. It's just right outside. So
Yeah, even if it's me talking to them, right? Because let's be honest, you can't close every deal. Right? 30 grand is 30 grand at the end of the day, and you have savvy sellers. But what we do say is, look, at 330, after we exhausted all the negotiations, are you looking for the highest offer you can depend on, XYZ, whatever. Now, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna say, like, hey, Ryan, unfortunately, at 330, I'm not going to be your buyer. It definitely takes me out of the bind. I'm not going to be able to buy this property, especially if you want cash. There's other ways that we can work together, but from what you're telling me is that the only way you would sell is if you got 330 cash. Is that what I'm hearing?
yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Just
So so I've already put them through the process. Like, you wouldn't look at any other offers and this and that. And so the next thing that I'm going to tell Ryan, look, Ryan, because I'm no longer, because I'm being transparent here. I'm not going to be your buyer. I don't want to contract this and come back to you and ask you for a price drop. Here's what we've done in the past, and I'm going to share a third party story with Ryan. And I'm going to say, look, Bino, when we had a similar situation with Bino, and what happened with him is we were the same. We were about $25,000 to $30,000 apart. And what I told Bino is that I said, Bino, I'm not going to be your buyer on this. I don't want to contract you. And basically, put you in a situation where I get you all excited because I say that I'm going to buy this property, and then later on have to price drop you or whatever the case may be. But here's what we do. Here's what I told Bino. I said, look, I have a large investment network, right? That we work with, and a lot of times they pay a lot more. Why do you think that is, Ryan? That they pay a lot more?
I don't know, because they can.
Yeah, because they can. And the second thing is that because they usually buy, they sometimes they buy properties to keep. I'm looking at this property because I wanna fix it and flip it. They'll keep it as a rental. Does that make sense, Ryan?
Okay, I got it. Yeah, totally makes sense.
So because they're gonna keep the property, they can pay a little bit more. And we, like I said, we have a really large network that we work with of investors who will pay cash at a higher price. And one of the things I want to do is try to get you that 330 that you're asking, and they'll be able to pay cash. Now, obviously, if someone comes in and makes an offer at 330, you don't have to worry about paying me. What happens is they will actually pay me. They'll pay me, or they'll take me out to lunch or something like that, right? I'll get compensated from them. So basically, when I come to you and I make you the offer, you're going to get what you're asking. Does that make sense?
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Cool. So Ryan, so legally I cannot market your property because I'm not under contract. It's not my house, and I can't show it to them legally. What I did with Bino is I told Bino, look, Bino, the way I can show it the property to them is that I said we have to get a signed permission slip from you. You familiar with permission slips,
Yeah,
Ryan?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, perfect. So if you're familiar with permission slips, that's all it is. It's a one-page permission slip that says Max can show these properties over to another investor. And what in that permission slip, what's cool about that is that let's say that you sign that permission slip today and you call me tomorrow and you say, hey, Max, I have a buyer already and they're ready to go. I just wanted to let you know that's you can actually do that. I don't know if you ever had how when you sign a contract, you can no longer sign another contract with anyone else. But this is only a permission slip for me to show it to other investors. Does that make sense?
Okay, that's cool. Yeah,
Any
comfortable with that.
confusion on there at all with the permission slip, how it works?
No, I'm just allowing you to market my property. That gives you permission, so you stay out of trouble.
That's it. That's it. I want to make sure that I have all my bases covered. And what I want to do is once I show it to them, and obviously the other thing too is that like I said, you don't have to pay me. That's the great thing about this. But I do, like I said, I do need to have this permission slip signed by you, so that way I can. So guys, really quick, I'm gonna stop right there. What are some of the key things that I said right there, Ryan? That basically that you said that you can like two things that top of your head that I used in that whole spiel right there.
Permission. That was the biggest one. I need to have the permission slip. And then the other piece, all right, number two would be that you said, hey, I could sell it to somebody else if I found a buyer for it. So I'm not locked in and I don't have to pay you. Maybe that's three things.
Yeah. So we're being very transparent, right? In a world where in a world where like transparency, where we think we can't be transparent with the seller, we can do that, right? We can be transparent here on what we're doing, right? So then and that's the other thing too, is that we're not saying option agreement. That's definitely not what you want to do. You don't want to tell, hey, Mr. Seller, I need you to sign this option agreement. Like they're gonna be like, what the heck is that?
I'm not signing nothing.
Yeah, what do you mean option agreement? Explain that to me. And so you're going to get into that, and you're going to get into something you don't want to get into. But going back to that, once the seller says, okay, so I mean that sounds really good. So what's next? And that's when we're going to basically get into the option agreement now. So, and what we do is we walk them through it, right, when they sign it. So. And what it is, basically, it's an option agreement to purchase real estate. What that does is that here's the cool thing. Once Ryan signs this option agreement, here's the other part that's cool about this is that it gets them, if it makes them feel like they are committed to. Once they sign, they think psychologically. What happens psychologically? They're committed to you, right? So I'm going to share with you guys a story. We did a deal a while back, I don't know if it was Miguel's or Ruben's. I think it was Ruben's deal. Actually, it was Anthony's Papa's deal. That's whose deal it was.
Mhm.
So we did a deal, and I wanted to be at 55,000, right? And the guy wanted 75,000 for the mobile home, and I couldn't get there. It was just needed too much work. Um, so I told him I did the pitch, right? I did the option pitch, and then basically what happened is we signed the option and we started blasting it, and we ended up getting an offer at what do we? So we had it for he gave us the option for 75, and we got an offer. I think we got an offer like at 85, right? Which was crazy. Like we didn't know, but it was from a buy and hold guy, right? It was from somebody that was going to keep it, somebody was going to buy it. So we ended up making $10,000 on there. But guess what? Not only that, we got the buyer from from somebody that called him, and the seller gave us the phone number. Does that make sense? Because the seller, we built such good rapport with the seller. Like once they signed, they were committed. They were like, "Oh my god, we don't have to show it no more." No, no, you don't have to show it. We'll definitely get people to come by and look at it. And then and then we agreed that they would put a lockbox on it. So they ended up putting a lockbox on it. And so, long story short, we ended up making 10 grand on a deal that we could have easily walked away. I don't think we could have done an ovation on it, and they definitely didn't want to do anything creative on that deal. But it's crazy. I mean, you see this now, right, with the option agreements.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, you want to hit
Well,
on
yeah,
anything?
we use it quite a bit. Just I think it's a lot of flexibility both ways. So again, and then obviously it shows that we are committed to each other as well. Because if we do find the buyer, which usually we do, we can go ahead and enact that option agreement. So I think it's
Yeah.
really cool option, and it's again just trying to provide another solution for the seller.
Yep. Guys, if you're getting value from this, drop some fire emoji, some thumbs up. Also, if you have any questions, I'm going to walk you through the document right now, but I wanted to explain to you a little bit of how it works, the power of the option agreement. You guys just heard it, right? They were sending me contracts to review, things like that. And you control an asset with one piece of paper. Isn't that crazy? Like, the other thing I want to share a story with you. Actually, let's walk through the document and then I'll share the story with you. But all it is, it says this option agreement to purchase real estate, right? Let me get back on here. Hold on. So why is it not let me highlight? Okay, this option agreement to purchase real property is entered. Obviously, you put the date between us and or assigned buyer and the seller for the consideration of $20. Right now, who do we give that? Who do we give that $20 to? That's something that we give the title company, right? We can give it to the seller, because they're giving us, they're letting us exercise the option. So we'll give it to the seller so they can, basically. Uh, that way they're committed. And then it says seller agrees to grant an exclusive option to purchase the land improvements known as, and then we put the address, right? Let me make this a little bit bigger. Here we go. Um, and then basically the next thing is the option period. This is very important. The option period right here that you guys see, you'll definitely, I don't know. Oh, I can't highlight that for some reason. I don't know what's going on with this. There we go. The option period that you see there is if buyer does not exercise the option buy, and then sometimes we'll get it. What do you think, Ryan? Sometimes we'll get it for 10 days, sometimes a month.
Yeah,
What's some of the things that you've
we've
seen?
had it as low as 10 days. We've had it at 14 days, and we've done 30 days. So it really just depends on the flexibility.
Yeah, okay. That's right. Cuz I think it also depends on the pushback too, right? Cuz if
Yeah,
we want to get like 2 weeks, or if we want to get like what is it called 30 days, it just depends on the flexibility of the seller. Cuz
yeah,
hey, I'll give you 5 days. We don't do less than 5 days cuz honestly anything less than that's is waste of time, I think, for the most part. I think we've seen, right, Ryan?
yeah. It puts a lot of pressure on everyone. Takes away from from the rest of the business.
Yeah, 100%. So we love 10 days or more. We'll do 5 days. But anything less than that, we won't do it. We prefer 30, and it just lets us get the buyer. But so seller understands that the buyer is an independent private investor, right? With intentions to either purchase the property for rental, for wholesale, for rehab and sell, of to find an end buyer and assign this option agreement to the end buyer for an assignment fee paid at closing by the title company. Now, we don't typically assign this option agreement. We could. There's some title companies that won't. You have to check with your title company. There are some title companies that will accept this as an actual legal binding contract. and they will use this, and they will use this as a legal binding contract. So, but you have to check with that title company. We just love to, and I'm going to tell you guys that right now, after I read this, what we do once we find that buyer, so that way you guys understand how this works. And then the cool thing is we also let them know seller understands, right? Seller understands the buyer's acting as a principal in the transaction and is not working as a licensed real estate broker representing anyone in the transaction, right? We're not telling them we're listing on the property. We're not telling them we're working on their behalf. Like, we're investors. We're gonna reach out to our network, um, and then we're not promising that we're doing anything. So, and then check out this last paragraph here. It says, these last two paragraphs, sorry. Upon buyer's decision to exercise this option, both parties agree to move forward with necessary standard purchase and sales agreement. Seller may cancel this agreement at any time before that if they find their own buyer or tenant, but must provide 24 hours first right of refusal to buyer to match or beat new offer. So if we find a buyer, us, right? Let me bring this up real quick. If we find a buyer ourselves, right? Basically what we're going to do is I shopped it, I send it over to my network, and what I'm going to do next, I'm going to call Ryan, like, hey Ryan, um looks like, so remember, Ryan wanted to be at 330, I wanted to be at 300, whatever the case may be. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take all the offers from the buyers that we're getting, like normally, like we were shopping, and I'm going to tell Ryan I'm going to go with the highest. So let's say the highest was 320 or 315, right? 320, 315. I'm only gonna make, like, tops probably gonna make like a $10,000 assignment fee. So if it's 325, I'm gonna tell Ryan, hey, we're getting offers between 310 and 315. What do you want to do on this? Because I want to get paid from the buyers, right? A 10,000 or 5,000 assignment. Now, if we're getting like offers at 335 or 340, I'm just gonna come back to Ryan. I'm gonna tell him, Ryan, hey, I got you the 330. The next thing that we need to do is exactly what that paragraph said, right? Exactly what that paragraph said, which is we're going to move forward with a purchase contract. So in essence, what you're doing is you're actually exercising the option to buy the property, and it's going to turn into a purchase contract for now. If for some reason I can't find a buyer, and let's say the seller calls me and the seller says, like I said earlier, hey Max, or let's say Ryan calls me and says, Ryan, I can't find a buyer. Or sorry, he calls me and says, he'll call me and say, Max, did you find a buyer? And I'm gonna tell him no. He goes, because I found one, and I want to give you 24 hours to see if you can find one that pays a lot more. If not, I'm gonna sell to this guy. So now they have the option to do that, right? But here's the cool thing. I mean, Ryan, you've been with us for a while. How many times has that happened?
What do you mean? As far as
them calling and looking for buyers, or them looking for buyers in general? How many times has that happened?
No, none. Again, like you're saying, psychologically, they're like, oh, I got it taken care of. They think we're it's all on us, but we're still going hard to try to sell the property.
No, we're still doing what we said we were going to do, but we put it in writing so they can see it's there. But once they sign this, it's like they're signing a purchase agreement, right? And they're committed to you. And you're right. I honestly don't think I've ever had anybody actually reach out and said, hey, I found someone. I'm giving you 24 hours to get this done. And I don't think you have either, since you've been working with us. So,
nope.
And then we have access to the property. I'll finish this up really quick. Seller should provide buyer reasonable access to the property for inspections by buyer, its contractors, its end buyer customer. This option agreement supersedes previous agreements regarding this property. So that is the option agreement in essence. Obviously, you have the signatures and then you have you have equitable title with this one-page agreement. So what's cool about this is, again, if let's say that the 10 days go by, the option expires, that you guys saw, right? If buyer does not exercise this option agreement right here, I think it's the option period, right? If let's say that we have till, what's today, May 3rd. So let's say they give us 10 days to May 13th. If by May 13th or May 14th, we'll just call it the next day, we don't have a buyer, well, guess what? That option expires automatically. There's no cancellation, no hurt feelings, and we all just walk away normally. So but that's it. That's the option agreement. Ryan, I don't know if you want to add anything to that in regards to what else, you as far as the option agreement.
Man, I think you covered a lot, but I'd say it's awesome. Use it. You can even reach out to us. We'll provide it for you. We have a blank one. It really helps. And if you have any questions on it, feel free to reach out to me or Max on that.
Cool. So guys, hopefully you can start using that. The option agreement is going to be on the I'm gonna put a link for Dropbox. So that way if you guys want to grab the option agreement and start using it, and you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. If you have any questions about how to use it, how to fill it out. You know who actually showed me this option agreement. And I'm going to tell you a story. So it's been around for a long time. It's just a lot of people don't use it because they don't talk about it. But it was Brandon Simmons. Brandon Simmons showed me this option agreement. Yeah. So shout out to Brandon Simmons for talking about this, because he's the one that ended up they used to use this a lot too with Sean Terry. I mean, a lot, and they would get deals. They used to use the options. They even used them with their people that that would JV with them. So they would use the option, and then they would exercise the option. But like I said, there's a lot of title companies that will use that option as an actual contract. You can assign that. That you just have to check with that. Again, like I said, make sure that you are also checking with your state to make sure that's a document that you can use. But do you have any questions before we jump on to the next topic? Oh, let me share that story, bro. So Grant Cardone just had the 10X. He had the 10X. What is it called? What is that called? The 10X, bro?
Yeah, 10X growth. I don't know what it is, but yeah, just 10X forum.
10X Growth Con. Yeah. 10X Growth Con, I think, or Growth Con. But he had our previous president, which is Donald Trump, right?
Yep.
And I actually have the video. I'm gonna put it up somewhere. I haven't really put it up anywhere, but they're talking about real estate, obviously nothing political, and Grant starts talking to him to hey, what kind of deals have you done? Tell us about a deal that you did that's interesting. And he talks about a land deal in New York. There was a company that was looking to see if they can put what was it, I can't remember if it was like a not a club, but well, kind of, but not like a nightclub. But it was like where you play tennis and all that. What do they call those?
Yeah. I was gonna say a club, like
country club. Country club. Yeah. So he found a piece of land that nobody wanted because it was by the river or something like that. And he obviously, wasn't going to buy it. So he tells Grant, like, what I did is I got an option on it. And with that option, it gave me the ability to, he goes, I went to the people that wanted to build. And I went to them and I said, hey, I got this option on this land, or I got this land available. And then Grant Cardone's like, wait. He goes, an option. What is an option? Like Grant's asking him, what's an option? Grant Cardone. And he told him, he goes, an option is what an option is what we talked about today. It's an option to purchase the property. And he goes, and they gave me so much time. He said they gave me like 2 years on that option. And so he ended up wholesaling it. He wholesaled that land that he found to whoever it was, the city or whoever it was. And I thought that was really interesting, right? Like even at that level, right? How powerful this document is, which kind of blew me away with that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is cool. And so then he talked about how he sold it, and then they built that country club or whatever. But that was cool because how he optioned it, he didn't actually put a purchase agreement on it. They gave him the option to later on exercise it as a purchase contract. So, but yeah, I wanted to share that today so that way you guys can, use that. Like I said, I'm going to put the link, after we're done here, the link to our website, the link to the option agreement. And if you guys have any questions in regards to that, so that way you can, that way you can reach out to us. But with that being said, I know we covered a lot already. What's going on this week, Ryan? What's with deals, collaboration, anything that we got going on interesting?
Right now, we started off talking about DeAndre's deal. So that one is the latest one because it was today. So that's in Detroit. So you got any buyers in Detroit looking for property, hit me up. but we got a good property in Detroit. We actually already got an offer on it, so we're just actually looking to set up the inspection. That's what waiting to hear back from the seller. So that's pretty exciting. Some other stuff Bino's been working on. Some people have 3 or 4 properties at once. I forgot what that area is in. Ohio, maybe
Mm-hmm.
Ohio. So I think we got to reach out to Michael
Yep.
Dupree,
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Rhea. And other than that, we had some people come in the office, last week,
Yes.
Stephen and Ruben. So
Ruben.
these
Yep.
guys taking action, guys. I don't know if they're on the call tonight, but if you guys are, appreciate you coming in, taking action, getting out in the field, stopping by the office to see how we operate. We've opened up the office quite a bit, guys. We talk about that on Fridays, but that's been exciting just to see, people take action, coming out to see us, stepping out, getting uncomfortable, and
Yep.
working at winning.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. So, for those of you that are watching that want to, our office is open on Fridays, and we open up a window about an hour, I would say, right, Ryan?
Yeah,
Between what 3 and 4,
3 and
between
4
3 and
o'clock.
4. So
Yeah,
if you don't come before 3, or you know what I mean, because we're obviously we're really busy, but we decided to open up the office so you guys can take a tour. I mean, those guys got Ruben and both of them. They got to spend quite a bit of time with you, right? And
yeah,
they got
yeah,
and
absolutely.
also with Carlos as well too.
Jesse and Carlos, yeah, they worked on the disposition side, came in, got to know them, and then spent some good time with Jesse and Carlos. I mean, I think both of them got a lot of value out of it. They both were very thankful, grateful,
Yep,
which is cool.
yep, yep.
So it's cool to hear that. So I think it
Yeah,
was
so
good.
if you're here local and you want to come by the office, definitely come through on Fridays between 3 p.m. and 4 p.m. We got a 1 hour window, because we want to make sure that we stay focused, and we have a lot of things going on, but we definitely made it available for anyone that wants to come by. Reach out to Ryan first to make sure hey, we're still good, but for the most part, that's the window for people to come by and visit. And we definitely want to do that. The second thing we want to talk, the other thing I want to bring up, Ryan, is we're going to start buying properties in Washington, right, as well.
Oh, yes, yes,
So
yes.
we're going to start breaking into that market. I think that's going to be really awesome. So
That's exciting.
it's exciting, man. It's exciting. So Washington State.
And that
So
all
if you
came from a JV deal. That's where that started from.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That did come from a JV deal. And so if you are in Washington, want to collaborate with you, want to do some things with you guys. But man, no matter what state you're in, we want to work with you. We want to help you to, you know, not only, like I said, a lot of people say send us your deals, and and we're obviously we want to work with you, right? If you have deals, you want to work with us, we're not going to say no, but we also want to help you. We're going to keep beating this drum for a very long time, where you guys obviously saw our website, right? Everything that you're going to experience when you are reaching out to us. And so I think Washington's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's always exciting, man. Hit me up, guys. Max already posted my number. He's probably going to post it again before we leave. Washington, Alabama, and Georgia as well. Those states too. A lot of buyers looking to spend money and looking for projects. So if you know
Yep.
anybody, connect us. We're looking to help in those areas too.
Yep, yep, yep. One thing that there's two questions that we get quite a bit, right? Is how do you get a hold of us? How can we reach out to you, and then how our process works, right?
Mhm.
I think we simplified it really, really. I mean, I think we simplified it and made it really, really easy for people to actually get a hold of us. I know that in some cases where people say reach out to us, you got to go through like 5 people, right? You got to go through a VA. You got to go through this. Now, granted, we have our processes. So if you have a deal, but it's really easy. You want to tell them, how easy it is to get a hold of us and reach out to us, Ryan?
Yes, super simple. 3 easy ways. Deals at maxcashoffers.com. You can hit me up directly on IG, so at Real Ryan Overcash, or Max is going to post my direct number, text or call 480-454-9796.
Say it
Or
one more
Friday,
time.
show up between 3 and 4.
Yeah,
So
if
yeah,
you're local, come through the office between 3 p.m. and 4 p.m. and we're going, and that way you could check out the operations, and then That way you can see, talk to Ryan, talk to Carlos, Jesse. Sometimes he'll be there if he's not on appointments. And definitely, you can ask the questions that your burning questions that you want to ask about disposition, acquisitions, and then lead manager. And then if our TC is not writing a contract, you can, ask some questions as well. So it's open. The floor is open. We're not just having you're not just coming in and looking. You're actually going to be able to come in and also talk to the people that actually work with us, that work with our team. So, um, well, that's all I got, man. I think we went through a lot today. I wanted to share that document with everybody. I think if you guys aren't using it, start using it. If you are watching this on Facebook and you want that document, message me, message Ryan, send us an email at deals@maxcashoffers.com. If you have a deal that you don't know for sure that it's a deal, again, call Ryan, send him an email, deals@maxcashoffers.com. Send me a DM at Real Max Jimenez through Instagram. Definitely, it's an easier way to reach out. Next week, this Thursday, this Thursday coming up, don't forget we have the Closers Lab. We're gonna be talking to
what do you got lined
sellers
up
live
this week, Max?
I don't know, bro.
Oh man,
Carlos always surprises me, man, and it's crazy.
get your popcorn ready. Must
Yeah,
see.
yeah,
Must
man.
see. Oof.
Last week was intense. The guy that we talked to, he was definitely what do you call it? Intense. If you haven't watched that, go to the Disruptors channel. Go to the Disruptors YouTube channel for last week. So that way you can check that one out. It was pretty intense in regards to how that call went. And that way you can check that out. But yeah, don't miss it this Thursday, 10 a.m. Arizona time. We're going live, talking to sellers live. And I'm also going to have the link. If you want me to call your leads, make sure that you drop them in. Send your leads before 10 a.m. on Thursday. So anything you want to leave the people with, Ryan, before we wrap this up?
Man, just all grateful gratitude. Thank you for tuning in. If you haven't reached out to us, please do. Don't hesitate. For all of you that have, love it. Keep doing it. Keep coming out. Let us know how you're doing. Even if you're on your own, doing your own deals, let us know how you're doing, where you're stuck at. Please tune in on Thursday to listen to Max, watch Max. Guys, it's a must. Ladies and gentlemen, I know there's some ladies on here. It's a must see. It's free. It's unbelievable. It's not going to be free for long. That's all I got to say.
Yep. And then next week, for the Closers Lab, we're aiming to see if we can schedule maybe Carlos. I think we'll bring on our lead manager because I think that's a very important position. And then we're gonna probably talk the whole 45 minutes or whatever about what he does, how it's helped our business. So you don't want to miss next Tuesday. You want to make sure that you set this time apart for Club Collab, so that way you can tune in and listen to how Carlos, he's a follow-up machine. Like I said, we joke around that he wears a necklace that says until you sell or die. That's the what is it? What do they call it? The piece, right? The necklace.
Yeah. He's got best practices. He's got systems as he made up on his own. He is just a wealth of knowledge for how to follow up the right way.
Yeah, exactly. So all right. Well, thank you guys for joining us, Club Collab. We're looking forward to next Tuesday. Don't miss this Thursday, Closers Lab on 10 a.m. Arizona time. And we'll see you guys next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Later.
See you guys.